KT's perfect record continues. The LEC and LCP representatives eliminated, and T1 and Faker continue to dominate the LPL in the most viewed series of the tournament. This is a rapid recap of League of Legends World Championship quarterfinals. The quarterfinals began with HLE versus GenG, a series that would be known as Peanut's Last Dance. The 4-game series would mark the final moments of a decade-long career for Peanut, who had already announced his retirement as he has decided to complete his military service following this year. Peanut's career began in 2015, marking the start of his decade-long career, during which time he played in both the LCK and LPL, garnering accolades wherever he went. His career took off in 2016 after he placed first in the LCK with the Rocks Tigers, followed by a 4th-place finish at Worlds that very same year. He would then join SKT1 in 2017, where they would win MSI and place second at Worlds. From here, he would go on to play on notable teams such as GenG and LGD, among others, before he found his way back to HLE in 2025. With the year where all eyes would be on if Faker and T1 could continue their form after back-to-back World Championships, or if it would be Chovy and GenG who would finally find their first World Championship win, Peanut would find his way back into history books as HLE would upset GenG in the LCK Cup to represent the LCK at First Stand. Here, Peanut and HLE would etch their names as the First Stand inaugural champions, and on their return though, they would struggle in the middle of the season before regaining their form at the end of the LCK playoffs, where they would secure second heading into Worlds. From here, it seemed like there was no way to go but up. After their first round loss to AL, they would qualify for the knockout round by going 3-1 in the Swiss stage, then enter the knockout stage. Their path to the grand finals, they would need to take on the seemingly impossible task of defeating GenG in the quarterfinals. In an all-out brawl, HLE would give the viewers a serious survival of the grand finals. After a close game 1, viewers would be treated to a 58-minute marathon between the two teams, with GenG finding a pick in the mid lane to boost them to a series point over HLE. With the possibility of it being Peanut's last game, HLE would show their resolve in Game 3 with a dominating win over GenG to push the game to a series game number 4. Unfortunately for HLE and Peanut, this would be their final game, as GenG would bounce back with a dominating win, eliminating HLE from the tournament. With this being his final game for the legendary player, let's hear what he has to say in his interview.
This decade, this is for you.
너무 감사드리고요. 응원해주시고 이렇게 같이 슬퍼도 해주신 지금까지 팬분들한테 너무 감사드리고, 저는 이제 끝나지만 어쨌든 계속 많은 선수들이 계속 대회를 이어나갈 거고 대회가 있을 테니까 대회를 재밌게 봐주셨으면 좋겠고요. 다시 한번 진심으로 감사드린다고 마지막으로 전하고 싶네요.
Thank you so much. I am very grateful for your support and for you crying for me. But my story ends here, but there's still more players competing and performing in the tournament, so please keep watching the upcoming matches and tournaments. And one more time, very, very thankful and grateful for all of your love and support.
A lot of inspirational words. Thank you so much. On behalf of the whole league community, 그동안 모든 것에 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The second series of the knockout stage, fan favorite CFO would be sent home by KT Rolster, marking it at the end of the historic year for this LCP team. The 3-game series showed that KT's perfect Swiss stage was no fluke, and KT is no longer just a single threat team after a massive series from jungler Cuz. Game 1, Cuz would pilot the Wukong, ending the game with a 9-1-4 scoreline. Then onto Game 2. CFO would fare no better after a near-perfect early game by KT secured the lead going into the 20th minute. Already on Soul Point, a fight would break out during the 4th Drake, and after a quick ace by KT, they would swiftly end the game in the 25th minute. Game 3 viewers would see a resurgence from the scrappy CFO team they have come to know over the year. With the game heading into the 20th minute, KT would find their opening and they would take a lead off an extended quad kill from Cuz.
Of KT, a triple in the end for Dog Dam, another sleep landing, and the chase comes out from Perfect and from Dog Dam. Hongchu is not done yet. Cuz will chase him down. A heartbreaker.
From here, they would take over the map, and after securing the Infernal Soul, they would end the game, continuing their perfect Worlds run into the semifinals and sending home the LCP Dark Horse.
Time in history, KT are going to semis.
On Thursday, G2 and TES would take to the Rift. Game 1 would begin with TES going full throttle with a dive comp, and Cream would have a stellar performance on Akali, going 11, 2, and 6, driving TES to a 1-0 lead over G2. In Game 2, G2 would pull out the Mundo jungle for Skumon, and he would go where he pleased. With the match staying even into the 24th minute, it would be G2's game to lose after an all-in from 3 members of TES were unable to kill a half-health Mundo. With Skumon leading the charge, G2 would tie the series heading into game number 3. What looked to be a close series between the two teams would then become the TES show. With their success on Mundo, G2 attempted to continue using off-meta picks after picking the first Ivan of the tournament, but it would find little success. TES would rally behind the scaling Ezreal from Jackie Love to go 2-1 in the series. Into game number 4, it would begin with what looked like G2 battling back after taking the lead in the early game, but it turned into a disaster for G2 after a failed gank turned into a double kill for Kanavi, which led into a snowball TES win, eliminating G2 from Worlds. The final match of the quarterfinals would pit T1 against Anyone's Legend.
一单输者当破强敌。
很多人说它是英雄联盟最高的山，最长的河，但我觉得它只是我们下一个对手而已。
플랑드레 선수, 우리를 단순한 상대라고 생각하신다면 이미 패배하셨습니다.
T1, never having lost to an LPL team at Worlds in a best-of-5 series, Anyone's Legend would look to turn a new chapter in the history books by being the first team to complete this feat. Game 1, T1 would kick off quarterfinals in excellent form, keeping control of the game by focusing on teamfights around objectives. This plan ultimately succeeded as they were able to secure both the lead and the Infernal Soul heading into the late game. They would then deal the final blow of the game after securing the Elder Drake, giving T1 a 1-0 lead. Games 2 and 3, Anyone's Legend would find their way back into the series through strong team play, shutting down T1 and putting them on series point and one way from ending T1 and Faker's runs at Worlds. With the league community sitting on the edge of their seats, Game 4's draft would leave many questioning T1's decision to draft Kai'Sa for Gumayusi. In Game 4, he would then prove that despite his low win rate on the champion, it was the correct pick as he would go 11-4-10, paving the way for T1 to win and sending the series to Silver Scrapes.
Carrier wants to stop him, Horn through the middle of the fight, and once again, Flandra's going to get focused, but he is not dead. Big impact from Tarzan, a lot of damage comes through. Carrier dies before the Pop Blossom. Flandra in a little bit of trouble now, but he's still fighting. The shield keeps him alive, but T1 is too strong.
With each team's roles live on the line, they would stick to their game plan, giving viewers one of the most entertaining games of Worlds so far. Anyone's Legend would start the game scrappy, leading to a kill advantage over T1, but they would be unable to secure objectives in the process. The game would then tilt in T1's favor after Faker killed the Otacon following an intense teamfight. The game would then progress with heroics from Gumayusi and Faker in the 31st minute. Following this fight, T1 would then go to secure the Elder Drake and Baron buff, allowing them to muscle their way into Anyone's Legend's base and win the game, sending them to yet another semifinals. With the semifinals just a day away, GenG will suit up to take on KT on Saturday, and T1 will attempt to continue their perfect streak against LPL teams as they battle top esports on Sunday. Please let us know in the comments below who you think will make the grand finals. We'll see you in the following videos.